So I am here with my next dragon, Shalmongongorong. No, but he is effectively, as you can see, he's a red dragon. So I'm going to do it very similar to this, which, as you can see, looks incredibly challenging. Of course, what you are doing is painting all of these cracks and crevices to try and get these sort of like lava look. I'm not going to do red on the inside. I will do it all sort of like all the way through, but effectively to try and get this sort of molten lava type look effect. I've started. As we can see right in these cracks and crevices, what I've started with is corn red, and we're going to build it up and layer it with some more reds, effectively, to get all in these cracks and crevices and on the inside of these legs, and obviously the lava flow that's coming down here too. This is going to take ages. It's going to require a lot of effort, a lot of detail, a lot of work. Starting on the wings as well. What I'm going to do differently to that is that has sort of like the greyish wings. I'm going to make all of these wings grey as well, and sort of like try and do wisps of sort of smoke coming down them if I can. That's the intention anyway. I've also, of course, not put the chest piece that goes on its chest here, which is bone. So we'll do that the usual Xandri dust start. But that's what's coming up. And it's going to take me a little while. It's going to take a little bit of effort, but once it's done, it should be probably one of the best dragons that I've done. Wish me luck. So this is coming along incredibly nicely. I have really done myself a mischief with it. It's going to take ages. Effectively, if you look here, obviously to get in all these cracks and crevices, what you have to do, get like a fair sized brush, and then sort of dab it in these, and then in these tiny cracks here. And what you're doing is using a much finer brush, and then just drawing the lines, being ever so careful, really, just to make sure that you get everything within the lines and to follow the path. Doesn't really matter about the outside, of course, when we do it later. And then, of course, dabbing it in those moments here, which, you know, once we dry brush it over with the grey, is really going to sort of like come out. But this, obviously, is, you know, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some care and attention just to make sure we get everything. But it's coming along. The tail is already starting to look spectacular. So once we start doing the colours, effectively I think my intention is to sort of like start with bright red coming all the way down. I'm going to do bright orange in the chest, and then towards this tail we're going to start going down with red from orange, and then finishing at the tip with yellow. I think that's my plan. And maybe do some yellow on the centrepiece in the chest, but I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. With the wings, I've just fully covered the whole thing. Decided for the membrane, but it's coming along. Right, so I've started on the cracks and crevices on the tail. These sort of like tiny brush that I'm using, because effectively it gets right in these gaps nice and easily. I've done the wings. What I did with the wings was I just sort of padded them like this. Just start doing those. Need to do the underside as well while I was waiting for those to dry. I'll do similar padding to these these bumps as well, but I've got to do all of this fine detail going up all of this tail. So it's going to take a while, but once it's done, I mean, look at it, it's starting to look amazing already. Right, so I'm at my next stage, which I've done all of the internal. On this, on this light shades here, and on the legs here, and on the side pieces here, what I did was I did some Wild Rider Red, to sort of like really bring up all of that like highlight and everything else. I've not done it on the legs. I'll leave those darker, especially when I paint over them and things, and up the neck. You know, there's certain bits on the inside there. The chest, as you can see, has got orange. So what I did was did some Troll Slayer, and then at the very tips as well did some Fire Dragon Bright. I also, if you look here in the middle chest piece as well, it's darker there and then lighter there. And then also then what I did next, like along these edges and in this central piece, was did Euro Yellow. And then right at the very sort of like tip, flash gets, which if you look just at the very tips there, you can just about make out the difference in colour. But it's brought out the really sort of internal. I've also done the same on the mouthpiece, which I'm going to do some yellow on the inside there, so it looks like he is going to be breathing flame. I've started on the wings with some Troll Slayer orange, and then I'm going to start bringing those up as well with some oranges and some other colours, and then we'll move on to the greys. But this is, you know, it's looking spectacular, and it's going to come along very nicely. It's taken up a lot less time than I anticipated, but it's been worth it as well. All of these tiny details just really brought out the colours of the dragon spectacularly. So just a quick update, I've attempted to start with Skaven Blight Dinge on here and here. It's not working. There is an attempt on Ashen Grey, so I'm going to do Ashen Grey, but first what I'm doing is just doing the tiniest and lightest dry brush of Abaddon Black, Abaddon Black, to sort of go over that, and then I'll start on the greys. But as you can see, it's sort of, you know, the red is coming through nicely all along here. So that's where we're at, and where it will start to come through nicely. Right, so I have made a lot of progress. The wings, as you can see here, are laid up with. Started with some Corn Red, then moved on with Wild Rider, and finished. With some. Not Wild Rider. Where is it? Evil Sun Scarlet. There, and then finished up with some Wild Rider, and then I've moved on to Troll Slayer Orange and Fire Dragon Bright, and then at these edges just faintest lines of Flash Kits and Euro Yellow. Along here as well, I've started doing Ashen Grey, which is where the dragon's gone. Which effectively I start with Ashen Grey, and then I've done some Skaven Blight Dinge on it, and then on the tiniest highlights, as you can see there is some Administratum Grey, which next, not in Administratum Grey. Administratum Grey is where I'm going to finish. It's Dawnstone. We've done some tiny highlights along here, which also needs some Dawnstone. I've done it exactly the same way, and same with this lava, which is coming down there, like that. Yeah, what I've done on the wings and on that lava is done some Fuegan Orange, to sort of like really bring out the ridges, and also down here, what I've done is I've done some Bloodletter Glaze, which I'm going to do on the lava down here, and then finish it up with some Fire Dragon Bright as highlights. The skulls and the bone are starting to come along, which is Sundry Dust. And next, after that, what I will do is put some Reikland Flesh Shade on it. And after the Reikland Flesh Shade, then we'll go on to some Shabty Bone. But as you can see, the dragon is coming along very nicely. It's looking much better with all of this black, and the highlight is coming along much nicer, and it's looking much better. We'll do some tiny bits of administratum grey to sort of like really bring out those highlights, but that'll be last minute stuff. Obviously the eyes will be last minute. And we'll come along, start on this side, and then I will swap over to this side when I'm done. But that's what's coming on, and we're nearly done. On the wings, I've done the highlights of the Eshin Grey, and next what I will do is highlight these pieces with Scheme of Light Dinge along there, and then do the same thing. And in these cracks as well, I intend to do some more highlights and highlight these raised edges as well. So, progress coming along. I have, there we go, very fine lines and faint details with Fire Dragon Bright. Just on the edges of the lava here, and it's coming all the way down there. I intend to do a tiny bit of flash gits, very lightly up the top there. I'm just about to start some edges with Administratum Grey. The tongue I've done exactly the same as the rest of it, as you can see, sort of layered it through. And I'll do the tips with that. Just about to highlight with Screamy Skull on the bone along here. But this is it, it's pretty much done. The wings are in a similar situation. I'm going to do some highlighting just on all of these membrane bits, and obviously finish the bone on those sides and there as well. We're very nearly done, and the dragon's looking spectacular. He's gonna, he's gonna really look amazing. I've noticed though there is a thing. So this skull bit will sit on his chest, which I did separately, which will glue, but you're going to lose all of that beautiful detailing on the inside. So I'm just not going to glue it on. I'm going to keep it out because it just looks so much better without it. And then I'll put it on and take it off as aesthetically as I choose. But there it is. He's very nearly done. The next thing will be the final finishing touches, and then I will show you. I've painted the claws black as well. I'm doing the claws similar to how I've done the tongue, I think. I don't think I'm going to do them bone. And then I've also got some fine highlights on the rock. So here we have it, nice and finished. I'm just about to glue the wings on, but I've done some fine details on there and highlighted the wings a bit. As you can see, just in these cracks on the wings here, just for flame. Then on the actual dragon, highlighted with Administratum Grey here on just the edges, just to bring out all of those highlights. I've done the claws exactly the same as I've done the tongue. But there he is, completed, all highlighted and everything. Just need to glue on the wings, and there we have it. It's nice and done. I will show you the completed dragon. Thanks for watching. Hit me up a like, hit me up a subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope this has given you some inspiration for it, and I'll see you in the next one. There we go, look at that.